Good morning, everybody. How are you? We are going to have a lot of fun today. We are doing another Evidence of Creativity event, and today is case number 826, the file folders. So can you guess what we're going to be investigating today? We're going to find some clues in those file folders, right? So while we are getting set up and just finishing up, I'm going to be using some file folders, and we're just going to have some good old fun. And I tell you what, it's just always so much fun to to have these events and all of our friends coming in and just all of the good stuff, right? So when you pop in, say hello. I'd love to know that you're here watching. And I just got to get myself where we are streaming in the Crafty Bunch group, and then also I am streaming also on YouTube. So whichever place that you're watching, if you see me or if you hear me answering or responding to something that you don't see, that's probably why. And right now on my monitor, it looks like what I see in one spot is kind of fuzzy. And I do want to remind you that when you are watching things and if they don't come in clear, find the little gear on that video and change the quality, because sometimes it will default to something that it thinks is what you should be watching in. And I don't know, here lately mine does not seem all that great, so I don't know what is up with that. I don't appreciate it though, because I want to see everybody in the best view possible. How about you guys? I'm Molly. Hi, Linda. So always remember that little gear thing is there, and there's one on Facebook videos. There's one, if you're watching on YouTube. Hi, Liz. And so you can that's always an option. And also, you can kind of adjust some of the audio and things like that. So that's always a good thing to keep in mind so that you can have the best view possible, right? Hi, Gina. Hi, Cheryl. So we are going to, I just think that sometimes I love watching and seeing what everybody comes up with, because everybody has just such fabulous ideas, right? Everybody has some different ideas. Now, I'm going to tell you, my idea that I'm using today is not totally original. I found it from somebody on YouTube, as we do, right? And I thought, oh, that just seems like such a fun little thing. But, it doesn't matter where we find our projects, because it is always it's always going to be different. However we make it, it's going to be different, right? We could all start with the same project and it's going to be different, just by the papers we use, the way that we decorate it, and all that good stuff. I just want to find another spot where I can see some comments. It's always so weird. I can see comments differently in every spot that I look. And why that is, I have no idea. So today, I'm just kicking us off, and then our other people that we've got today are Lisa with Craft Therapy with Lisa Ahmad. We've got Lydia from Paint Party with Lydia, Joe from Rhoda May and Ray Inspired, Jeannie from Clifton's Crafty Casa. We've got Celeste with Moments with Celeste, Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration, Cheryl from Mama P's Crafty Creations, and to bring it on home today, we've got Liz with Crafting with Nani. Now, Liz is still in a timeout with the book, and hers is going to be a recorded video. But I tell you, I hope that you will watch those. We'll still stream that into the Crafty Bunch, or it won't be streamed, but I'll share it in there. And so I hope that you will watch that and comment, and you just play like that was, Liz is right there with you, okay? And we've been working hard to keep her going, and so that doesn't stop her. We don't let anything stop us, right? We are crafty gals, and we don't let it stop us. Hey, Cheryl and Nicole, Pam and Debbie. Kimberly is here. YouTube and Pinterest. You always look for things there for inspiration, right? Lisa, Sherry, and Maritza. You guys, and I want to tell you something. Not long ago, I went over to Pinterest, and because I thought, I haven't really been putting anything over there in a long time, and I thought I should do that. Well, I got over there, and Pinterest doesn't work exactly like it used to anymore. It was full of ads, just like we see all over the place, and it was kind of disappointing because I remember, I used to go over to Pinterest, and like you said, you typed in something and you got all kinds of great stuff, right? Okay, that's enough blabbing. I've kicked us off. We're ready to go. I've told you who's going to be here, and we are ready to have some fun. Let me put us down here to my desktop. Okay, I got file folders, and you guys, I thought I had new file folders. I have old used file folders. Oh, look, this one. Oh, no, I did erase something on there. But, it doesn't matter because we're going to cover them up. We're going to decorate them. We're going to do all the fun stuff. And so it's not really going to matter, right? It is going to be a great day, Kim. Hi, Daryl and Sherry, Carol. You guys, I just love these events. I just think it is so, so fun. Yeah, Maritza, it's not the same. Pinterest is not the same. Yes, too many ads. And in fact, you know what? Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, you guys, I do want to remind you that your people that you like to watch, and like today, even our people today, when you're watching them, click on their name and make sure that you are still following them and that they come up when, when they're going to be on. Because there is an awful bunch of people, seems like the book has gone through and helped us and unfollowed the people we want to see. So go back in there and make sure that that you are still following, or that your information is set that way that you want it to. Okay, so that's just a little reminder. So what we're going to do today is I've just got 2 file folders. Now what I'm going to show you, you can easily just do with one if you wanted to. And everybody always says, well, what in the world would I do with that? Now, this is going to be how big that our little project is going to be. Let me see. Do I have a quick ruler? Let's see how big that is. So it is about 5.5 inches wide and about 6 inches tall. So some people are like, well, what in the world am I going to do with that? Well, you know what? Oh, and this is funny. It seems like most of the things I do anymore. Oh, you guys can't see me. What in the world? Hang on one second. Not that you need to see me, but it kind of makes it a little bit more interesting, don't you think? What in the world? Hang on one second. I don't know what I did. Oh, I think I was recording something, just recording, and I didn't want my face in there. Just 1 second. Oh, that's not it. Well, that's weird. Okay, there we go. We can do that, right? Let me kind of get myself in the center. There we go. Okay, I was thinking that looked weird, but I couldn't tell why. Okay, so do you like seeing me while I do this? I always wonder about that, if you really do that. If you like seeing me, or you would just rather see all the open space. I often wonder that. Okay, so what I was going to say was, I often do these projects and then I think, oh, it's getting to where almost everything I make, I think, oh, that could have been a Mini Monday thing. Oh, that could have been a Tiny Tuesday thing. And they're all just kind of small. I should make a small channel, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? I like little things. But anyway, what I was going to say, again, is something like this. If you just wanted to make if you just wanted to use one file folder and use it like that, it would be very thin, and you'd still have several little pockety things, and it would be easy to fit like in a journal, your planner, your date book, whatever, and you'd still have little pockets to be able to, put some stuff in. So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be this big. And if you wanted to use more than 3 pockets, you could do that too. So first what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. Okay, you guys, this landscape thing here, I opened this file up to see if there was anything in there, and there were several receipts for some kind of a landscape project when we lived in Minnesota. And I'm like looking at that, and I'm looking at the date, and I'm like thinking, I don't have even any idea what in the world that was. Okay, so we're going to cut this in half this way. So this is, let's use our 0 side so we can tell what would be the center. And then you just kind of measure it up here. Well, it's not really exact, and it would be a really weird measurement. It would be a little more than 5 3/4. So you know what? I have another tip. If you've got something that is a weird measurement, and especially something that you can bend, let's just bend it. We're going to kind of lightly fold it here. We can match up our little sides over on this side, and I'm just going to kind of maneuver this over here, and I'm just going to give it a teeny little pinch. And that's going to give me a better halfway point than measuring a little more than 5 3/4. It wasn't even another 1/16 of an inch. I couldn't even, there's no way I could do that. And now I can't see that. I'm gonna have to make a little mark here. Okay. Enough about me. Let's do the project. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna cut this in half. I got it squared up here. Anyway, I just thought that was so funny to find something and think, oh, wonder what big project this was. I mean, there were several receipts in there. I'm even reading this stuff on it and thinking, I don't even know what this was. Okay. And on this one, I can see it better. You know, file folders, these are, and you know what? You could get like a pretty decorated one and do this, and then you would already have it basically decorated. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be really pretty. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to fold these things. And this is going to be kind of different. And you know, you can kind of, I'm not going to worry about these having writing because I can cover them up with, you know, in some form or fashion, right? We can cover it up somehow. Hi, Maureen. So, I'm glad some of you guys are trying to pay attention and help Liz still watch her videos and stuff, because that'll be important for the book to know that people care and are watching. Now, I don't really know that it matters which way we do these, and you know, sometimes if the tab isn't where you want it, you could like you know, flip it up the other way and do it like that, and you know, fold it the other direction. It's just up to you. File folders are pretty versatile in that you can, you know, do it this way. Hey, Susan. I know. Yes, Susan is the one that would say, what would I do with it? We're going to use it, and we can keep it with, like I said, you can keep it with, you could just pop it in your, you know, your purse and have it handy and put little receipts in it or something if you wanted to. There's all kinds of things that you could do with it. Me, I just like to make the stuff and decorate it. And I'm not even sure sometimes if it ever gets any farther than that. I just like doing it, right? But yes, some people want to know what they are going to do with it. Okay, so let's move these out of the way so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get very far if I don't get busy, you guys. My goodness. Okay, first we're going to take this, and you can see the score line right there. We're going to take this, and we're going to put the straight part just shy of that score line, because you need to make sure that score line is still going to bend and fold. And then just kind of lightly start folding that over there, and then just use your bone folder or something and give it a nice crease. Okay, now on the other side, that doesn't have a tab sticking up. I mean, this was not the tab. That was just, you know, the other part, right? That was the low part. So what we're going to do on that side is we are going to take what we folded here, fold it back this way. Take this, and now you're going to match this section right here. We want these two folds to be at the same place. And so we are just going to fold it right here. And you guys, I should have said, that wasn't very nice of me. I should have told you who it was on YouTube. Her channel was something like Lene Creates, I think was what it was. But I had seen this before and I thought, oh, that was a fun little idea. Okay, so now we've got this one and we're just going to do that again. Here's the other one that sticks up, our other tab folder. So again, you're going to take the flat part and put it just shy of our thing and just match up here, you know, match these, your top and bottom. Make sure it's not in the way of your, and I can just see it peeking out right here too, so that's good. And just kind of walk your way back here and then give it a good press. Okay, and then fold it back on itself here, and then this way we're going to just get it as even as you can. And you know, if it's a little tiny bit off, it's not going to be a problem. Liz, thank you. Okay. Well, you know, because I do my videos a little bit different, you know, most people have, if they use their phone, that you already can see them, right? So mine is a little bit different. I like to see people. I like to see them when they're creating. Okay, so now we've got those two. Now these are going to be a little bit different. So we're just going to take the flat part here and go across. So you want one side that you are folding up to the crease, and the other side you're going to fold back and then match back here. And it doesn't matter that these are not going to, you know, be the same distance. We're just going to make little pockety places, and it's going to basically be kind of like little filing in pockets, okay? So we got that one, and one more. We'll just do this one the same way. And you know, even if you, the main thing is to take those tabs and not, you want the tabs to be able to stick out, right? So the tabs are the important ones to make the other direction. You guys, I have some paper to play with here that is so old. I don't even know how old it is. I think it was, gosh, it has got to be from some time, maybe when I first started doing anything with Stampin' Up. Okay, so now we've got all of these. And so again, if you're just popping in, the one with the tab, when you fold it, it's going to extend past here. So you want your flat part to just be on the inside of your score. Okay, so now you're going to put them together. You're just going to decide how you want them. You know, maybe you want this mostly flat one like that, and then we're going to be just gluing them, making little pockets and doodads here. I don't think I want that. I think I want that sticking out a little bit more so it looks more like a file pocket right there. So I think I would put that one there. You know, it's just all, you just do what you want to do, right? It doesn't really, ooh, one of the, okay, there. I thought one of them was, I could tell after I got them out. Look, you guys, it's two different sets of file folders. They were completely different colors, right? So then you just have to decide how you're going to stick them together. And now what we're going to do, and I think I'll just do this before I even start doing any of that. Some of them, we're going to have side tucks, and then some of them, it's usually like in this W, you see we've got like the little W fold here. When you put these together, those can be a top pocket, a top slide-in pocket, okay? So I think I'm going to do, you know, maybe I'll just do that very first of all, is do the front, those center pockets. That'll help a lot with remembering what I'm doing. Okay, so you only need the glue along here in the bottom. So up after me is going to be Craft Therapy with Lisa Ahmad. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to make a little, you know, and you can ink as you go. You can ink however much you want. Oh, please don't make me say this again. Oh. Thought we were going to have another craft scene investigation as to where the missing punch went. Okay, now I do want to know which side. Did I glue that wrong? No. Here's another thing we might want to do. Hang on just one second. You know what? Before I go any farther, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put, now I already know this one because I've already made that hole, but I'm going to put like which part is the bottom. That's the bottom, bottom. These are all going to be covered up, so I like that. And then you can also like put which part is the back, like that's going to be the back, because you could do an awful lot of twisting and turning these. So once you lay it out, that's what I would do. Well, not only am I going to, I did. I marked all the backs. Lisa says she has some paper from when her son was born, so it makes it 30 years old. Oh, let me think about that for a second. I might not have any that you might be the winner. I don't know. Anybody else think they've got more paper that's older than about 30? Hi, Lydia. That is too funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think mine is that old, but it could be probably about 26 years old, maybe about 26. So it's creeping up there. It's creeping up there, you guys. Okay, now this one I'm going to glue. Wait a second. Do I even want to? Well, that makes that weird. Because if I glue this here, you can't even see the notch there. Well, you can when you get it in here, though. That'll be fine. Let's still do it. Except I'm going to put the glue on this part. Otherwise, I'm going to glue right over the hole. You guys will all be going, we got to go see that other person so we know how to do it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got that part. I don't know. And maybe I don't want to do anything in that one. Maybe I just want to glue these together here. Oh, well, let's do the center pocket. Like I said, if we do the center pocket, I think that makes it easier. And if your punch won't go through, you know, both, just do one layer at a time. You can do one layer, and then you can see where your next layer is, and then, you know, just find it right there. And that way, that will, because not all punches make it easy, right? This one wasn't too bad. Oh, that folder that is more yellow, man, that paper's a lot thicker than the other one. So I am going to use that little matchy trick on that one. Those things are flying everywhere. I'm going to have a giant mess when I'm done. Nothing new around here, right? Okay, Molly says she's got some from the early 90s. Some paper. Some books. What do you mean some books of paper, Lydia? Like paper pads, or they were books of paper? Tell us more. Okay, so then this one along the bottom and along here. I shouldn't, you know what I wish I would have done too? I wish I would have numbered these so I knew which order they were in. That would have been helpful too. So you just do like one outside edge in the bottom of these center pockets to make the top loading pocket. It's going to take me the whole time to do this. I'm not even going to get any decorating done. Well, I can always come back and work on it, right? Old textbooks, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of us have some papers like that are super old. Those are fun, too. You have to be careful when you're working with some of that old text paper, or some old papers in general, because they work great as long as they're flat, but, you know, if they... Sometimes they don't fold very good, right? Okay. Okay, so we've got those. So now we've got this. So these two need to go together. And you guys, you could, if you wanted to, you could just completely glue this whole thing together and just make it like that. So it's just up to you. Do you want to make it another little, you know, pocket? Or do you just want it to be able to, you know, flip like this? That's totally up to you. And now that it's totally up to me, I don't know. What do you think, you guys? Should we just glue that flat? Glue it flat or a pocket? What do you think for this one? Glue it flat or a pocket? And then make sure that when you're gluing them that you're paying attention to, you know, the back side, because you're going to have all of these that don't match, you know, edge to edge. And that's the way we want it, but you just have to pay attention and be aware of that. What do you think? Glue it flat or make another pocket? I think maybe a pocket. We can leave another one that's flat. Molly says flat. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we should just do that. But then we'll lose that pocket. I don't know how much I need for pockets anyway. I do like pockets, Jeannie. I love pockets. Well, you know what? It's still going to look flat anyway. I think I'm just going to do it now. And this is what else I would do. Make sure you know which is your low one and then kind of glue accordingly. So this one is lower for the most part. So I'm going to put the glue on this page. And then across down here and up at the top. And then we'll just match them up like that. Okay. I know, I like pockets too. Deborah says, way back when she would go to the drugstore after Christmas and buy the last Christmas paper for her daughters and gifted them to her daughters. Yeah, you know what? I remember we used to do that a lot too when I was growing up. We'd go the day after Christmas and buy the Christmas paper and anything else for the next year. In fact, you know, that was the day that we would do shopping. And you know, I don't even remember. When do you guys think that Black Friday became a thing for shopping, the day after Thanksgiving? I do not remember anything like that growing up when I was a kid. I just don't. I just don't remember it. Now those are pretty similar. And we can always, if we've got excess glue, we can just wipe it off, right? So we'll just put these together. Okay. And then some of them, when you're done, if you've got some of these little, you know, places that you want to trim off a little bit, you can do that. You might want to stand it up too to make sure it's really flat like that. I did not do that. Okay, so we've got that. We've got this other little pocket. Well, you know, we're still going to have plenty of little places that lay flat. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So I think I am going to just make all of these little pockets. And I made you a page of printables for some little goodies to put in your little pockets. You can find that on my page. So I'm going to hold the whole thing up here, stand it up, and then I know it can be flat on its spine, so to speak. Now I see I'm going to have some places that need a little trimming, and that's okay, because I have scissors. I even know where they are. Yeah, Daryl, I just don't remember that. I come from the land of Hallmark. Oh my gosh. That should be a song, right? You know, the song, you know, the land down under, the land of Hallmark. That's around, isn't that around Kansas City? Deborah, isn't Hallmark in Kansas City? Do I remember that correctly or not? And then we could even just leave one in the back like this. I like that. I'm not going to glue this one down. I'll just leave that one out. It'll be a fun little tab out there. Okay, so now we've got this going on. And then we can check this out and see if we want to... Gosh, I feel like I got glue everywhere now. Yes, it is. Yeah, I thought so. The land of Hallmark. Hey, everybody should have a land of something, right? Okay, so this is not, you know, and here's the thing. This one is a little bit off, but, you know, I'm thinking as we put papers on it, it might not really even matter, right? Okay, so I've got, let me grab my paper out here. This is my paper pad that I am going to use, and I found one of the little houses. Now, I don't have to use that on everything. Maybe, these are pretty, I like this. Maybe I'll just put this little heart page on here. Okay, so let me check something though. I got some ink out of a different color. I get tired of using that same ink all the time, and I wanted to try something different, and I tried a dab of this, and I don't know how. This is called Iced Spruce, and I think it's going to go good with some of these pages. It might not look real swell with this page. Let me grab a piece of white and we'll check it out. Well, you know, and it's going to look different on here too. So I don't even know if that's a good, well, it's not bad, really. It's not really bad, and it's kind of different. I like that. So partly what you can do then on some of these is you can ink these little edges. They're going to stick out, and then you just cover this part with your paper. So I'm just going to do that now and put some ink on so they're not naked. Nobody wants naked paper. I probably shouldn't even say that. Oh my goodness. There's no telling what you can get in trouble for. I wish I would not have said that. And then, and see, I should have put some of that in. You know the trick though. I should have inked a little bit of this first. Maybe. I don't know if that really matters. It looks kind of dirty. Here's another one that's sticking up out of the edge. Now, on some of these, we could take our little scissors and trim. Let's see, we could trim. Where are the little scissors? We could kind of trim some of this up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm just going to kind of follow this rounded curve there and just kind of extend it like that. I'll have to flip it over on this side. So you can just, you know, just do any of that, any inking of any of the edges that you want to. Now all this is going to do is, if I don't get clear up to the edges with my papers, and maybe I don't want to, maybe I just want to leave all of that and just run a straight piece of paper up there. I don't know. Let's get going here. Let me actually see if there's something fun to use. You know, this wouldn't even be bad. We could put that there and just trim that. I am going to have to do some measuring, you guys, to get this anywhere. Okay, it's a little bit more than 4. Man, how am I getting all these measurements today that are a little bit more? You don't think you've ever seen, well, did you hear it a minute ago? I think you're, what did somebody say? Hang on a second. I think you're my suspect list for excessive amount of craft supplies. Lydia, I think you're right. I would be a good suspect for that. That's for sure. And I think I'm probably going to be found guilty. I'm going to be found guilty of that. Couldn't even remember, you guys. A little bit more than 4. Oh, look down here. I've got, oh my goodness, I don't even know what those are. That's a 16th. What would that be? A 32nd? Maybe. Is that what that would be? The next one? Some of you are like, I don't know. I can't even figure out what, 5/8 is. Don't ask me what the next thing is, right? I know, you guys. I know. That's not too bad. It's that is not really anything that you would normally see me use, is it? that weird dark color. But it's kind of fun. Kind of fun and different. Now, I kind of wish I would have done some of that first. You know, I'm just going to glue this on here, and then I'll trim it with scissors. And that's, you know, that is something that could be, don't worry about getting it all the shapes of the file folders and all of that. Don't worry about it. Just get it glued on, right? Oh, this could probably be a good thing to use like some glue stick on, actually. Then you could have a little bit more slip and slide if you wanted to. So don't throw all of these. If you're using like 6x6 pages, which are perfect for this kind of a project, save your offcuts, because then, you know, you can use them for like, well, not so much this one, because, well, you could do a side little thing there. That would not be my favorite for that particular one. Now, some of these I am not going to mess with yet. What time is it? Okay. All right. Let's put something prettier in here. Prettier. Some of you guys might have really liked that one. I don't know. Yes, I have had a craft a lamp. Well, yeah, something fell off back here. I don't know. Oh, no. What was my big water thing, you guys? My big water thing was fun. It's a good thing that there wasn't, it doesn't seem like there was enough in it. Oh, my word. Fail. Oh my goodness. Quick lesson in yeah, the measurements. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's do this. Well, I don't know. I should thumb through here and pick some. I would never use this color, ever. So I might put that one there. And, oh, we could use this one next to it. It's got a little bit more red. We could put that down there. Okay, so, yeah, do not, okay. Learning experience, don't just take one measurement and think they're all that size. This is 4.5, because we've got so many different things going on here with all these little parts and pieces to these folders, the way that we, you know, put them in there. So we're not going to have a bunch of them that are exactly the same. Now this is, oh, I can see to trim it right on that other little bitty line. The second line down. Okay. That will be much easier than trying to trim it with scissors. Now that ink does not look that, yeah, that ink doesn't look the best with that. I don't know, you know, and I'm not taking it to the fair for a, you know, hoping for a ribbon or anything, so I'm okay with it. I just thought it would be fun to use some of this paper that's been sitting here for eons. And to do that. And then I'm going to put this one over here. So this one, that's not a ruler. Oh my goodness. So this one is about, I'm going to make it 4 3/8 because we need to leave, you still need to leave those score marks open. What did I say? You guys, I can't measure and talk. 4 3/8. I can do it, but I don't remember what it was, right? Do you got, hopefully I am not the only one that does that. Hello, Fancy Nancy. Measure twice, cut once. For me, it's 3 times, right? That's what I always think too, Joe. Once is not enough for me. I think I'm going to just take like just a tiny bit off of here. That wasn't even the right side I was using. And then that'll look cute there. So now we've got all these tiny little pockets in our, in our little folders. Wait, how far out did I do this? That's fine. Even if it goes all the way to the end, we can trim it off. Which makes me wonder why I did all that inking in the first place. You could always ink afterwards, right? I'll just slide that on there. But make sure you've got it away from your score line. Yeah, if you used a little bit of, what did I say? Glue stick, that'd work good too. I would use glue stick and a little bit of glue. Okay, so now we can just trim this part off. And you'd want to do this side because when I put some paper on this part, then I can flip it over and, you know, and still see where to trim it. I got my edge sticking out here. Well, you know what? Maybe it was good that I inked them. Who knows? To ink or not to ink? Before all the rest, that could be the question. You know, that's kind of an interesting color, and it's kind of neat because it's not the same old thing that I use all the time. What do you think? It's kind of fun. Kind of fun and funky, right? You just spilled your drink all over some items yesterday when you're crafting with your granddaughter. Oh my gosh. I know, we tell them to be careful, and then we're the ones that knock the stuff over, right? But it is a good rule of thumb to be careful. A good rule of thumb to be careful as we go. Okay. It's always pretty coming from your desk. Oh, thank you. Okay, so now let's find another piece. What did I do with it? Oh, you guys. Did it leave and go? Did it go to the holding cell? No, there it is. I found it. All right. Oh, that's cute. You know, now this is kind of interesting. When I pulled this out, I noticed how some of these colors look really good for, you know, with this yellowy color background, right? Carol, it's called iced spruce. It's a distress oxide iced spruce. And you guys, I like using distress oxide because it's creamier. You know, it's kind of part pigment ink and part, you know, dye-based ink. So it has a much creamier consistency to it. But that's not the magic of distress oxide. And you guys, if you don't know what it is, you should go and look On my YouTube channel on Tiny Tuesdays, there is something where I show you about Distress Oxide, and a lot of people have told me that they didn't know. They had no idea. Well, you know, we could. This isn't my favorite look, but it's kind of cute. It's kind of a cute paper. I'll just do it. Orange is not my thing. Although that's not true exactly. I love using orange for a pop of color. Sometimes with blue, it looks really great with, you know, blue colors sometimes. And I like doing that. Okay, back to, we better measure. We gotta measure. You headed off? Okay, bye-bye. Molly says she looked up Black Friday and it was used by police early 50s, but retail started early 60s. Just saying. Interesting. Yeah, I just don't, and you would think that if it, well, of course, you know, who knows where they started having the big sales. I can't even really see where that thing is. I'm going to do 4 and an 8, and that'll give me room for my little score mark. You guys, Lisa Ahmad with Craft Therapy with Lisa Ahmad is going to be up next. I'll work some more on this, and then when I get ready to do some other stuff, maybe I will come on another day and we can chit chat a little bit more and work on it. How does that sound? Still never heard of it in the country. You know, yeah, I just yeah, I'm with you, Molly. I just don't remember hearing of it at all, really. Now that's a little bit too short. Look, I got it a little bit, my little pocket thing out here, my folder is sticking out right there, but I think it's going to be fine. Which, like I said, maybe it is good to go ahead and ink some of this in the first place. Then when you've got some of those edges that you don't come quite to the edge of. Oh, I'm like thinking, oh, I don't want that there. I'm trying to make a pocket out of the cover paper. I got in pocket mode there. You guys, I can hardly wait to see what everybody does with their file folders today. This should be super fun. So if you want to see everybody, the easiest place to watch, you guys, is in the Crafty Bunch. And the link there's in the description. And then all you have to do is refresh your page, and then the next person should come up. So I'm just going to trim that a tiny bit. Just with your little scissors. Trim it off. But yeah, measure each section that you're working on individually, because they're all going to be different. They're going to be close, but you know, just enough different that you need to know what they are. And they do have a tiny bit. It's not quite 6 inches on my folders that I'm using. Hey Jeanette, how are you? Till the mid-70s. Yeah, I just don't even know. I just don't, you know, and isn't it funny that even if I heard of it, I don't think we ever did anything and went to any of it. And maybe that's, you know, the disconnect. Even if I did know it was something, I didn't do it. And you know, for so many years, there were many years that a lot of the gifts that I made for the holidays, they were all handmade gifts. I couldn't afford to, give a lot of, I mean, for other people, not so much our kids, but other people that we gave gifts to, family members. A lot of them were a teen in Indianapolis in the 70s, and I don't remember. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to check out, let's ink this up a tiny bit with this and see how it looks with this. I'm just interested now, right? It's just an interesting color. Okay, now I'm going to pop this back in here. This is how you can get some ink on things. Just use this like this. Of course, it didn't really matter because we already had ink on that other edge anyway, right? So that part didn't really matter. Now I think here's our little finger notch up here. I think we've covered up another one too, didn't we? Did we? Did we not get that far? Uh-oh, what's going on up here? I think I got some, had a boo-boo. Look at that. I got some ink where it wasn't supposed to be. So, you just keep doing that. But what I was going to say is, then I did make a page for you to have some fun little things to use in here. And it's on my website. It's just a little freebie. Well, not on my website. It's on my Facebook page and in my Shopify store. So, and I made these little things. If you've got some washi tape that you love, you can wrap a tiny bit of washi tape around here and have it handy to put in if you wanted to. We've got some little things. You could just put some little notes on here. You can make some little tuck spots or something too. And, if you wanted to have a bunch of things that you could use, like in your planner or something. Oh my goodness, what have I done? Oh, that was the front. If you want to have some fun little things to stick on your planners or whatever, little notes or anything, you could pop some of them in here. Now, a lot of these things are going to be they're going to be awfully small. They're going to, end up being hidden in there. But what you can do is, like we were talking about with some of these, have a little side tuck here. Let's make one now. Let's just do a little side tuck. I am just going to, oh, that's kind of cute though. Do I want that side instead? Yeah. Let's do that. Although I like the heart spot, but just do this here and put it down here because I don't know how far it's going to go. And stick that on. And then I can just trim that at the bottom of the page. But this allows you to have some other little places. Like if I wanted to put a little bit of washi in here, like wrap around several times and have a tiny bit of washi, then I can just tuck it in here and then pull it out. So, you can still use a lot of these little bitty things and have them for that. And some of them you would just probably use for a little bit of decoration. This one just says file this away. So there you have that. So I just thought that would be fun. You guys might like those. You might not either. You've never stood outside a store for hours waiting for, no. When we lived in Minnesota, the headquarters, their main biggest store was not far from us. And I can remember one time driving down the highway And whatever they had going on for Black Friday that year, they had some incredible, bargains that were going to be going on. And they had people that would camp. They literally were camping out. Well, trust me, sometimes in Minnesota at the day after or on Thanksgiving night, it can be kind of chilly. And those people were out there literally camped out. And then after, several years, what they had started doing, I think, if I remember correctly, was they would go ahead and they would go find, they would ask you what you were there for, and they would give you like a voucher for it so that you did not have to stand there and wait and wait and wait. And it was just kind of crazy. So I am sticking Lisa in right now over in the Crafty Bunch. And so you guys will be able to refresh and find her there. So thanks so much for being here today. You guys, I have missed some comments here. Oh, Nancy says she thinks handmade gift is so much better than store-bought. But you know what? Not everybody feels that way, Nancy. A lot of times that, and it's just so sad to know that some people don't understand the value of that, right? They don't understand the love and care that went into it. And, which is really sad. My mom used to say sometimes that if people weren't makers, she didn't like giving them something she had made because they didn't understand the value of that. And, there's kind of a little bit of truth to that. Sadly, there's a little bit of truth to that. You guys, let's go over and see Lisa, and we've got a whole lineup for you today. I hope you will stick around, watch everybody in the Crafty Bunch, and we will see you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here.